Welcome to Protecting Africa show. We got brother Emmanuel in the show, and I'm gonna be asking him a few questions about the topic I'm covering. Today we're speaking about African languages, basically. But before I go to the main topic I wanted to speak about, brother Emmanuel told me that his name is Emmanuel, right? Now, to me, you look like an African person. Now, your name is Emmanuel. That's not an African name. In your understanding, what's the reason that you have a Europe or a non-African name if you are African? Well, why is that? Because I notice most Africans got foreign names to their own nation, what we call tribe today. So what is making that Africans don't use their names anymore? Because I asked your name, you gave me Emmanuel, which means I did not hear the African name. So we don't use the African names anymore. What is causing that, in your opinion?
That's just history and culture. If you, wherever you are, wherever you live, wherever you are, someone comes to you and talks to you about his God, and then you're not Cassius Clay anymore, you are Muhammad Ali, and everyone knows you. It's the same thing. Someone came and preached, and then I got a name from that religion. It's as simple as that.
Have you noticed that most Africans have European names, or what they call Christian names, right? But have you also realized that African names are dying? It means the names associated to each nation, what we call tribe today, are dying, because names that are not used, they're dying.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that they're dying? Do you think is it normal that an entire people, what they call an entire race, losing its identity, like Africans are losing their identity? Is it a normal thing? What's your intake? Is it normal that almost an entire race is losing its identity, its culture? That's losing your identity, basically. Do you think is it normal?
No, actually, I don't think that's losing your identity, because your identity is you. Even if you don't have a Jewish name like Albert Einstein, you're still you.
What do you mean? What do you mean your identity is you, and African names that are associated to African tribes that are not your? That's not your identity.
Okay, let me give you an example.
Okay.
Your father is working for this Chinese guy.
Yeah.
And the Chinese guy is a very good man.
Yeah.
And then when he gets you, he thinks, okay, let me give to my child this guy's name, because the guy is been very good to him.
Okay.
So,
but
one day your name is Chang Li.
But is it normal that an entire continent gonna be naming their children after other nations, while other nations never name their children after Africans or other nations? Is it normal?
I was very happy that that lapsus you had. I said Emmanuel, you said Europe, and then you stopped, and then another name. You see a white guy. His name is Emmanuel. Emmanuel is not a white people name, but he will never tell you that he lost his identity because his name is Emmanuel. It's a Jewish name. It's in the Bible. They say Emmanuel means God is with us. Now that's the real problem. Why would some guy think he doesn't lose his identity, and you will think that you lose your identity?
Okay, I can answer that. We all know that Europeans have documented their names, their identity. It's well written. And then if Emmanuel is a Jewish name and it's not a thing, they have done it of their free will. It means they decide, okay, we're gonna name our children after. But if you go to Europe, you're gonna see that their identities, their original identity, are alive, and they are sticking to them. Their languages are alive and everything. But if you come to Africa, what you realize is if you go where the Portuguese have been colonized, people have Portuguese names like Alvaro, and so on. They even have Portuguese surname. If you go where the English colonized, people have English name. If you go where the French colonized, people usually have French name, because the English name and the Portuguese name and the French name don't sound alike. So you can see that everything is different. So you can't say
No, that's
I just want to conclude that you can't say the one that out of his free will has never been under occupation chooses, let's say, a Jewish name, and the ones that don't even use the names anymore, because in France people still use the names, in England people still use the England, but in Africa people don't use the names almost.
That's
In most part of Africa, yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's a misunderstanding. Jesus went to Europe because the Apostle Paul took him to Europe, and then the other Jewish who's been sent all over the world, they went there with Jesus. So Jesus came to Europe maybe around 30-40 after Jesus. So when Apostle Paul goes to preach, he doesn't go to preach to the kings, and no, it's to the slaves and the poor people. So at some point, all the poor, because at that time is the feudal system, just a bit of people, just like in Africa right now, just a bunch of people are very, very rich, and everyone else is very poor. So Jesus is preached to all these masses. Then one day, an emperor, Constantine, says no, it's better for him to also take Jesus with him. Maybe the people will be with him. That's just one people thinking. So what he does is, okay, I accept Jesus. From now on, Jesus is a foreign God, and he's been preached to the poor people. Now he says, okay, from now on, Jesus will be the only God here. From now on, our own gods, Zeus and what, you know the names, it's legends. That's how they came to preach Jesus to us. These white people, they came to us, they said, Jesus is God. All our gods, it's legends. People were making up stories.
Okay.
So, from there, the Constantine is emperor in Italy.
Okay.
Then from there, Jesus is preached all over the world.
Okay.
Now, Jesus is not preached. They don't come at you, they say, okay, accept Jesus. No. At that moment, Italy is a superpower. They come with the culture, with the names, with their God, who is Jesus now. So, if you don't accept Jesus, they beat you up until you say, okay, I accept Jesus. So it's not free will. No, not at all. It's not free will. Second, it's just an advantage of history. Because, look, the Jews themselves, they didn't accept Jesus. They didn't take him. The ones who took Jesus to the whole world, absolutely the whole world, is other people from Europe. After being preached by the Italy,
Yeah.
they accept Jesus, and then they take Jesus to the whole world.
Yeah.
So if they are Belgium, they take Jesus with Jesus' names and their own names,
Yeah.
and they take them to another country.
Yeah.
If they are French people,
Yeah.
they take Jesus and that culture with their own names, they take them. That's
Yeah.
how it happened.
Yeah, but now
So if
yeah.
African people had done that work, we would have had that.
if you have done which work?
Take Jesus, the culture, and our names, take to another people.
Okay.
We would have had that.
Okay, now
We didn't do that, so that's why.
on your understanding, is it right that a group of organized people gonna come and invade an entire country and then start imposing their will by force? Is it a normal thing? Is it logic? Is it legitimate for them to do that? Is it normal that people do that? That they invade a country and then not only impose the names and the religion, but enslave people, use people to better their lives, and then trying to destroy those people's own value and own heritage and own knowledge system about economy, anything that they used to, to keep them going. Is it normal that they do that?
Okay, you and me today, we can decide that it's not normal.
No, I'm talking about you using logic, using common sense, using that thing that makes you a human being, that to know this is wrong, this is right. Because humans have that, you understand? That's why we can know that stealing is wrong, killing is wrong, raping is wrong. Now, you using that thing you have as a human being, which they call logic or common sense, whatever, Is it normal for a people to behave like that? I'm asking you. I'm not asking somebody else's opinion.
Yeah,
you.
that's what I wanted to explain to you.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah.
It's very wrong.
Okay.
But the thing is, that's how people used to do.
Sorry.
The Chinese
you
did it.
should not justify something that is wrong. If it's wrong, you should condemn it and oppose it. Because if that thing was right, they would be doing it to their own also. The fact that they will not do the same to their own, they will only do to others, it's clear that they just want to hurt others.
No, we are not talking about right and wrong. We are explaining the fact. Why do I have
I ask you a question. No, it is me who asks you a question. Is it right that they behave? It's me who asked the question. That means I wanted to know from you if it's right that kind of behavior from you as a human being. Should you approve such a behavior? You said no. You understand? So that was a question that is part of the topic. If it's not right, and we are the victims, right? We are the victims.
No, we are not the victims. That's what I was trying to explain to you. We are not the victims. When the Mongols went to colonize China, they did it for them. When these Arabs came to Africa...
Do you understand what is the word victim?
No, I'm explaining to you why we are not victims.
Sorry, because we need to first, when we're speaking, we have to understand things the same way. Maybe you think victim means something else. Maybe I think victim means something else. Now, we have agreed that it was wrong.
I'm asking you for just 30 seconds so you can understand what I mean. Arabs came to Africa, bring their culture, their names, and colonize us exactly the same way. White people came and they did exactly the same thing. We did it here because there were empires here. When someone comes and Shaka Zulu did it, comes with his culture, his mentality, and impose it over other people.
The question is it right to behave in that fashion? You say it's wrong.
Yeah.
Now, if it's wrong, it means you can't justify it anymore.
No, I'm not justifying. I'm telling you that no one is a victim because everyone did exactly the same.
Sorry. We've never invaded Europe.
We invaded ourselves.
I'm saying we've never invaded Europe.
Why?
Now, do you agree that we never invaded Europe? Right?
Why we have never done